Hello. You've caught me trying to make myself look presentable.
This is a heck of a lot easier in video games. You know, perfect facial hair at the press of a button, gorgeous tumbling locks, previews of what you'll look like with mutton chops before irreversibly committing with a real-life razor.
Look, I'm willing to do a lot for Friday feature gags, but I'm not doing that.
What would be the point anyway? I'm never going to be as beautiful as the various video game characters I get to pretend to me for the 40 or so hours I spend in their shoes. I mean, look how sexy I am in Dragon Age the Veilguard. In video games, I'm a saucy elven school Leonhardt. In real life, I'm that.
Besides my own face then, here are 7 things way better in video games than in real life.
First up, cleaning. Something so tedious that I've reached the point in real life where I will actively avoid doing things I enjoy if it means I have to clean up afterwards.
Like making toast or clipping my toenails.
I just never want to clean ever, but give me a comfy chair and a copy of Power Wash Simulator, then I will scrub until the water is brown. And I am not the only one. Apparently, staff writer Connor downloaded it over the holiday to see what all the fuss was about and drove his partner round the bend with the constant psh sound.
Merry Christmas! Have some tinnitus.
I guess it's because in video games you get to experience all the primal satisfaction of things going from dirty to sparkling clean without the need to actually stand up. You know, video games have removed the barrier to entry for cleaning as an enjoyable pastime because honestly, cutting through the grime in Power Wash Simulator makes me tingle with pleasure.
Oh, I think I might try it with a wider nozzle now.
Whereas cleaning in real life typically comes with a side serving of cold bin juice.
Yeah, stick to games. Words to live by.
The next thing better in games than in real life is travelling. Travelling in real life is stressful as heck, even if you're ultimately doing something fun like going on holiday. Never mind if it's something rubbish like commuting.
I actually like commuting. I use it to catch up on podcasts. If that's you, then you're doing it wrong. Commuting is for sitting still and quietly regretting your life choices.
However, travelling in video games is an absolute breeze by comparison. Take Skyrim, where you can finish a quest in Riften, travel to Solitude to finish a different quest, pop to Whiterun to tick another item off your to-do list, then spend the night in Markarth in the space of just a few minutes. No traffic, no waiting for buses.
They have horses and carts in Skyrim, of course, which are better than buses, mainly because they are always there, waiting for you.
Video games spoil us, don't they? We are literally the main character all the time. You can get away with being a narcissistic travel Burke, you know, saying things like, "It won't leave without me," and have it actually be true. In video games, the world does revolve around you. Try adopting that mindset in the real world and see how far it gets you. I mean, literally, it will get you nowhere.
I have seen buses deliberately leave without me in the real world. You know, I will literally lock eyes with the driver as I'm sprinting down the road 20 seconds before the bus is due to leave. And the driver will look me in the eye and just like drive off.
In real life, travelling is an inescapable means to an end that's often disappointing anyway. In video games, travelling is an often skippable interlude to a near-endless procession of people and events all designed to tell you one thing: you are important and amazing.
When the reality is that in real life, you are mediocre and insignificant at best. You know, there'll be another bus along in like 20 minutes. Sit down and be quiet.
Entry number 3 on this list of things that are better in games than real life might be more controversial, but I'd wager it's still a popular opinion. Cooking. Some people love to cook, others don't. Some people like the idea of cooking, but turn their kitchen into what looks like a landfill site every time they try.
I think one thing we can all agree on is that cooking is way easier and therefore better in video games.
Just press some buttons and a beautifully prepared dish appears before your eyes, with no need to worry about undercooking the chicken or burning the potatoes.
And most importantly, no washing up afterwards, unless you're playing Overcooked.
Even cooking-related side activities are better in video games. Foraging for ingredients and collecting recipes often means going on fun adventures in beautiful, verdant worlds. The real-life equivalent is a supermarket on a Saturday lunchtime, an experience from which my most potent memory is a passive-aggressive exchange with a bloke who pushed in front of me when I was trying to choose some cheese.
No thanks. Avoid all of that in favour of video game cooking? Yes, please.
Owning a car is the fourth thing that's better in games than in real life. Cars are quite dangerous, for one. Imagine if they hadn't been invented yet, and you tried to pitch them on Dragon's Den.
So, my idea is incredibly expensive, fast-moving boxes of metal that you will be unusually angry when controlling.
Yeah, I'm out. So, video game cars are already way better than real cars for safety reasons alone. But there's also all the boring stuff you never think about when you're not a driver, like having to get your car taxed, getting it through its MOT, making sure there's enough space in the boot for the dog. Whereas in video games like Need for Speed or Gran Turismo, your main concerns are more like
Ferrari or Lamborghini?
which spoiler gives me the best speed boost? Which shade of neon really makes the alloys pop? You know, fun problems. Compare that to the problems of owning a car in real life. You know, fuel prices, dashboard warning lights, PCP. If you want to buy a car in a game, you just walk up to it and press triangle.
Yep, that's mine now.
Entry number 5 is one of my all-time favourite things to do in video games, and something I've never actually done in real life, but I've decided it's okay to be prejudiced against fishing and to make a joke about it being like this. Compare that to the arcade thrills of fishing in video games and there really is no comparison. There's so much variety too. You've got the charming serenity of Red Dead Redemption 2, which comes with a side of amazing zingers.
You, sir, are a fish.
The adrenaline rush of catching a catfish or a midnight carp in Stardew Valley. The intricate systems and rewarding challenge of Final Fantasy XIV. The thrill of landing a whopper in Dark Chronicle and then turning them into a legendary fish racing champion.
Compare that to real life fishing, where the thing I am most likely to catch is a cold.
To summarise, real fishing, slow, difficult, requires going outside. Video game fishing, exciting, varied, can be done from the sofa. Another win for video games. Thing number 6 that is better in games than in real life is dating. Now, I've been with my partner for nearly 17 years, so have mercifully been spared the horror of trying to get someone to notice me on a dating app.
You have to take one of those high-angle selfies that makes it look as though you've been, caught unawares by the camera.
That is a swipe right. In video games, though, things are far more simple. Dating is gamified in such a way that you always know where you stand. In Dragon Age The Veilguard, for instance, flirty dialogue options are helpfully signposted with a little heart icon, meaning there's no chance of any awkward misunderstandings. You simply select the chat-up lines that have been written for you, and away you go. A breezy, simple, happy ever after, based on telling people what they want to hear for as long as it takes for them to like you.
It's a tactic that would probably work on me, to be fair.
In real life, you have to deal with rejection, not knowing whether you should split the bill. And, as with many of the entries on this list, accepting the fact that in the real world, you are no one's protagonist.
Good old games, where I can enjoy the fantasy of being important and well liked.
The seventh thing better in games is DIY, something I'm so bad at in real life it is beyond parody. Everyone knows the pain of putting together flat pack furniture. My usual tactic is to look sad and stare at all of the bits until someone else comes along and does it for me.
DIFM, that's what I call it.
DIY, like everything, is way better and easier in video games. Have the correct resources and or enough money, things just appear in front of you. No assembly required and no delivery to wait in for. The scope is so much bigger in games as well. You can design a mansion in The Sims, a mega farm in Minecraft, and if I shoot someone in Fortnite, I get to watch them build the virtual equivalent of the Sistine Chapel in less time than it takes to actually say Sistine Chapel.
I can't even build momentum in Fortnite.
Yeah, building is definitely worse in real life. Flat pack furniture alone is probably responsible for 30% of all household arguments in the world, and actual building work probably even more than that. I'll stick to doing it myself in video games. Thank you very much. And that concludes this list of 7 things better in games than in real life. One thing that is better in real life, however, is giving us a like to make us feel all warm and fuzzy. Do leave us a comment if you think there's anything we've missed, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so you're always up to date with everything from the world of PlayStation. See you next Friday.
PlayStation